Welcome back to another video. It's a late upload and I apologise for that, and it's unedited and I apologise for that. A lot of the videos are unedited at the minute. You can call it lazy, but it was going to be out early. It was going to be edited, but I sort of got caught watching the darts, got sucked into it, and then left on the final, and I've just been informed that I've missed a 9 darter, so that's just typical of me, that is. But you're here for the Gillingham match preview, so let me know your score predictions in the comments down below going into Saturday's game. Like the video if you do, to do so, and subscribe if you're new. On the road to 400 subscribers, all the support is massively appreciated. So we'll get into key players then for Gillingham coming into this fixture. Romeo Hutton is probably the League 2 Trent Alexander-Arnold. He's completed 428 crosses in League 2 this season across his spell at Swindon in the first half of the season. Signed by Gillingham in January, a very good bit of business. Quite a weird guy. I don't know if you all saw his announcement video at Gillingham, but it was one of the weirdest videos I've seen of him. It was topless, sort of moving his body around. It was weird. Anyway, if you haven't seen it, you have a clue what I'm on about, but hopefully you can find it, because I don't know how to find it and put it into a video and all that anyway. But he's created the second biggest chances in the league as well, with 18 big chances created. Very good cross with the ball, gets up and down the wing, and possibly one of the best right backs in the league. Get back Shadrach. You might have heard that on Emmerdale, but you might have heard it on TikTok. You might not have heard it at all, but it's a phrase that a lot of the kids like to use because some influencer, if that's what you want to call him, on TikTok says get back Shadrach a lot, and he also says it's all inside your mind. And then he has another one that I can't really think of, but basically it's a famous catchphrase for the experienced people who don't know, and they have a footballer Gillingham called Shadrach Ogie, and very good player for them, very good centre back. He's left-footed, quite tenacious as a centre back, which you don't normally get tenacious centre backs. Very good aerially as well, and I think that's why the back three suits him. But they have changed to a back two, and we'll get into that later in what can we expect. And Ethan Coleman is he's won 59 tackles in League 2 this season, which is the fourth most. He's good aerially, he's tenacious, again, quite, they've got a lot of tenacious players that, that they're like tigers. They'll bite your legs off. Passionate and energetic player, and I think the Gillingham fans do like him. And I've heard a few say he's been one of their most consistent players this season and one of their best players this season. So that has helped me do the key players. But no, I've watched him a couple of times, and he is a good footballer as well, playing in non-league a couple of seasons ago. But very good central midfielder for them. We'll get into the results then. 1-1 draw against Grimsby for us on Monday afternoon. 2-0 win against Tranmere Rovers at home. A 3-0 defeat to Harrogate, 3-0 defeat to Notts County, and that 5-1 defeat to Mansfield. I'm glad that's the last time I can talk about that in a preview. Talking of 5-1 defeats, Dave, just come off the back of a 5-1 defeat to Harrogate Town, a 0-0 draw to Crewe Alexander, a 3-2 win against Morecambe, a 1-1 draw against Grimsby, and a 2-0 defeat to Wimbledon, which Conor Masterson got sent off in that game. And a player who was close to getting a key player mentioned from me, I think, is either their joint top goal scorer, their second top goal scorer with 6 goals this season. We're 4-1 beaten against Gillingham in the league, with 1 defeat in 9 against them, and that were 4-0 defeat in our relegation season to League 2, and we're also unbeaten in 4 home games against Gillingham. So pretty decent record there, and hopefully that can continue. They've only had 1 win in the last 7, that 1 win coming against Morecambe, that 3-2 win, and they are the 8th best away side in the league with 28 away points from 21 away games. And our last home win was obviously against Tranmere, our last home game, and that was our first home win in 4, and Alexander's 4th home win, I think, or 5th home win, which shows how poor he's been at Valley Parade since he's took over. I think it must have been our 7th home win of the season, so shows how poor we've been, with claiming 29 home points from 21, which is actually more than they've got away, but as is around 17th in the home form table, where we are in the league table as well, funnily enough. So, looking into the dugout then, they have got Stephen Clements. He has been, what would you call it? Sort of the assistant to Steve Bruce, but sort of leading the training a lot throughout his career, he started at Hull, sort of in the academy, and he got promoted and since followed Steve Bruce everywhere he went. Quite highly rated when he was with Steve Bruce. He's in his first senior role as a manager, which is interesting to see how it's going. Let me know how it's going, Gillingham fans, because from an outside looking in, I thought Gillingham would get top 3 this season. I thought they had a good enough squad for it. The manager at the start of the season, Neil Harris, I thought he would get them top 3, and at the minute it looks like it's looking a bit of a not a dream, because it's well in their realms of getting the top 7, but they've only got 4 games left and they're already 2 points behind, and I think Crawley have 2 games in hand on him, so it's looking like a tough ask for them to get the playoffs, which is something that I thought they'd quite comfortably get at the start of the season. But obviously they sacked Neil Harris. They were 8th when he got sacked, and they were 4 points off first and only 1 point off third. And it did seem to be more of the style of play. It can be quite hard to watch at times. They only scored 9 goals in the league under Neil Harris, and it took them a month to appoint Stephen Clemens. And like I said, they're now 2 points off 7th with 2 more games played, and they're 13 points off third. So let me know how it's gone, Gillingham fans. He's the son of Ray Clemens, one of the best keepers of his era, and he's Dougie Freeman's brother-in-law. I think he works with Crystal Palace. Is he like director of football over there? So he's got a footballing family, and let me know how he's doing. Because, like I say, from the outside looking in, 9 wins so far in his career at Gillingham. I'd probably expect him to do a bit better than he is. What can we expect coming into this game then? It's a must-win for them. They've been pragmatic so far. I'd say that the style of play has been since he came in, Stephen Clemens, sort of playing with a flat 5 and sitting deep and soaking pressure and sort of hitting on the break a bit. But they've opened up recently and they've gone to a back 4 since Conor Masterson got sent off against Wimbledon, and they've felt a need to go for games, and it worked against Morecambe, going 3 and conceding 2, but having a good open game and getting a win. Cruitt, it was stalemate, and then they got battered by Harrogate after being 1-0 up. So it sort of come at a cost opening up for them recently, and we'll see how it goes. But I would probably predict a 0-0 draw, considering they are the lowest scorers in the league with 39, and we struggle to score goals, as we all know. The ref watch. It's Edward Duckworth. If you remember Edward, after the Doncaster game, was quite. It was one of my enthusiastic match reactions. I do prefer the enthusiastic videos like yesterday's war, because it means that we're doing well, and obviously we look like we're on a bit of a roll after that. And since then, the wheels came flying off. Like a chitty bang bang car, I suppose. But yeah, or Del Boy's car. But yeah, at the end of the day, we're here to talk about Edward Duckworth, who I called Vera Duckworth because she'd be more use. And like I said at the time, she has died, so it shows how poor he was. He had a shocking game. I thought Tyler Smith should have had a penalty in that game. And there was contact and he didn't get booked for it. So, if you're not going to book him for a dive, you should have given the penalty, and he didn't give either. There were many decisions he got wrong, like 50-50s throughout the game, and it was just absolutely shocking. And a lot of the free kicks he did give, I didn't know if he were blowing for an offside. The flag didn't go up, and I was just baffled throughout his performance. And it is only his second game against City, that was his first, and he's only refereed 13 League 2 games this season, issuing 47 yellow cards and 1 red, so quite inexperienced and quite rubbish as well, to be honest. My starting 11 for the game, let me know yours in the comments down below. It's a 3-4-1-2, 3-4-2-1. When we haven't got the ball, we sort of play with the 2 strikers to press their centre-backs. When we have got the ball, Kavanagh drops a bit deeper to get more involved in the play, and that's what we have to do. We've got to get our forward players more involved. We didn't get them involved at all against Grimsby. It was all up in the sky, and it wasn't fun to watch. We need to be more attacking. We need to be more entertaining, because there's not to play for in the season apart from entertaining the fans who pay the money to go and watch us. So Sam Walker keeps placing goals. He's had a fantastic career thus far at Bradford City. Back 3, John Tompkinson comes back into the back 3. In the 6 things we learnt, me and SHD Sam talked about the should you really be playing lone players, but when there's a lack of options, you sort of have to go with Tompkinson unless you want to go with a back 2, which you could have done with Platt and Kelly. I think they've both been outstanding this season throughout. Both have had shaky moments, but Platt barely puts a foot wrong, and Kelly's had a good breakthrough season, I suppose. Halliday and Richards in the right and left wing back positions. Then the midfield, I think this is more up for debate. I've gone with Noah Wadsworth and Kevin McDonald. Now, Wadsworth I want to see more of. He came off the bench against Harrogate. I haven't seen him since. I'm concerned about that. We've had 2 games in tight periods and we haven't seen him once. So I want to see our young players get a pathway and, where is he? So, and with Smallwood having a poor game, with Gilead injured, Pattinson's still out, I want to see him play. And then I've just realised I could have played Walker, couldn't I? Yeah. Yeah, I completely forgot about Jamie Walker. Well, we've had a last minute decision. We'll take Kevin McDonald out because he was at risk anyway of not playing. So I'll go with Wadsworth and Walker because, like I say, we do need to go for it a bit more. And yeah, that midfield's completely open and it will get done in there if you go in that midfield. But I'd rather that because I want to be entertained, and I think. And bring Smallwood on later on. It's my team. It's my team. So I want to be more entertaining recently because we've been quite boring. And then the forward line, Point and Kavanagh. And well, if Cook's available, you go with Cook. He's got a good record against Gillingham, and he's just all round fantastic. And you don't know what you've got until you aren't, do you? And that's evident with Andy Cook recently. Tyler Smith's been useless, and if Cook is injured, I'd go with Ibbotson, like I've said with Wadsworth and Point. And you need to create a pathway for the young players, and he's been doing pretty well with the academy. So it'd be nice to see him get some minutes from now to end of the season, even if it's 10-minute spells from the bench. I think we need to start creating that pathway for Ibbotson and Yumby, of course, who's out on loan at Scunthorpe. But that's my team. I haven't really spoke about Point and Kavanagh, but both energetic players, both players that I like and are entertaining, and I think that's the key message. I'm predicting a 0-0. I want to be entertained. Robbie Williams, let me entertain you, and that's something that we haven't said all too often this season from Bradford City. They need to go and win the game, and maybe we can spell their promotion hopes. But let me know your thoughts going into a game in the comments down below. Let me know your score predictions, your team lineup, and anything else you want to know in the comments down below. Gillingham fans, if there's anyone you're watching, let me know your key players. What are your thoughts on Stephen Clements? Let me know that in the comments down below. Like the video if you did, go on to do so, and subscribe if you're new as well. 31 subscribers away from 400. All support is massively appreciated. Have a good one.